Ho, 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 Merry Christmas and welcome to another of the Christmas run-up videos of hopefully optimistic things in a world full of doom and gloom. Well, I'm indebted to one of my lovely viewers who sent me some information, some secret information, although I think I've actually heard this before and you may already know this, about about cars. We talked about deregistering your cars the other day with Sovereign Pete, and many others have sort of tried this, experimented with it and found out, oh blimey, hang on, not as easy as you can do, because the powers that want to be and want to continue to be seem to have got everything sewn up so that they can make our lives absolute hell. And it's going to get worse. Ho, ho, ho. Merry Christmas. Yes, because apparently, according to the insurance industry, they're ramping up the insurance so that in the future, within the next 10 years, you won't be able to get any insurance for your petrol and diesel car or van. Oh, blimey, that's me out of hock then, isn't it? Because apparently they're going to force you to have one of these electric vehicles. And not only that, the insurance premiums will only insure you if you have one of these electric vehicles that are going to be online 24/7, connected to the internet, connected to the insurance company, connected to the police, connected to the authority. You won't be able to start your car unless you've done some form of breathalyzer to make sure you're not drunk. Remember, we did a video about drinking and driving and how you can be sitting snoozing asleep in front of the television, if you're stupid enough to own such a thing, and your car could be 16,458 million miles away and the keys in somebody else's house, another side of the country, and yet the police can still bash your door down and come in and claim that you've been drink driving. But there you are. So you'll have to do a breathalyzer. Breathalyzer, there's an interesting concept. A breathalyzer test before the car will even start to move. And of course, if you drive along, assuming you've got it going because you've had to show that you've got a digital ID, if you manage to get it going onto the roads, you'll have to adhere to all the road signage. And if you accidentally go a couple of miles an hour over the 20 miles an hour zones or the 10 mile an hour zones or the 5 mile an hour zones, you know, you can imagine the M1 now will be about 3 miles an hour, if at all. Probably better off to get out and push the blooming car than drive it. But anyway, if you do go over, then the penalties have come out, and oh my giddy aunt, that's it. And of course, the penalty money will be deducted at source from your bank account. You won't even get the chance to go, oh, can I actually, what's the word I'm looking for, where you try to argue the point, can't remember what the term is, it's Christmas. But and also your insurance will fluctuate, it'll go up and down. So the more misdemeanors you have and the more times you sort of try and rebut it and say, hang on a minute, how calibrated is that camera? As soon as you sort of argue about it or anything, your insurance premiums are likely to go up. So it looks like they've got this whole thing sewn up, and of course it'll cost an arm and a leg, perhaps a heart and a lung even, to have a car. And of course, they think that they've won. They think that they've got us all under the thumb, because really and truly they don't want us driving. They want us behind bars, just being fed, you know, willy-nilly and handing over as much money as is physically possible. But there is an answer to this. Of course, we've always had the answer to this, and it's just a question of thinking a little laterally. Yes. What you need, of course, naturally, and my lovely partner, the lovely Julia, of course, reminded me this, you just need a horse and cart. That's right, because you'll probably find that if you have a horse and cart, clippity-clop, it would be lovely. There's no emissions, maybe the odd thanks, Ned, on the road, but that doesn't matter, you know, it's all good for the greens, isn't it? And you'll probably find you'll be going faster than the blooming cars are able to do. No one can sort of say, hang on a minute, are you drunk in charge of the horse? I mean, they'll try, won't they? They'll come along and go, hey, hello. Is this your vehicle? No, actually, it is actually a conveyance. It is a cart. Yes, and you see that? That's a real living horse. There's a living man or a living woman up here, clippity-clop, and there's a living horse there. Get out of that one if you can. I mean, they'll try and outlaw it, of course, but we'll have to just push back. But the answer will be horses and carts. We'll be travelling at a slower rate. It just means that you shove in the cart a number of things that you need, a nice thermos, for example, of some hot soup, or stop by the wayside and gather up some fallen branches. I still believe that there is a common law to say that you're allowed to do that. Make a fire, brew up a nice cup of kettle, yeah, do that, and then if you can wangle that into a cup of tea, even that's even better, and away you go. It's just that we'll just have to slow down again. We'll slow down, take a loved one on a journey. I mean, you're only going 5 miles, it might take 5 days, but who knows? It's better than having those people dressed up as police officers coming along and saying, hello, 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 because they'll be redundant. I mean, this is one of the things that police don't actually realise. They're endorsing all of this, but of course, the more digital this goes, with the gantries flashing and the cameras monitoring and the cars themselves online watching you, scrutinising you, you won't need police. So the police ought to wake up to this. The men and women who put on those uniforms, who think they're all mean and moody because they've got this sort of authority, they're going to be redundant, because they won't be needed, will they? They won't be needed on the roadside to sort things out anymore, because your insurance premium automatically will be penalising you through the bank. So I reckon horse and carts, let's get rid of all this nonsense and let's have a much more sedate lifestyle. That's probably the way. Get your pipe on, get your reins in your hand, have a trusty steed, and just go up and down the countryside and stick your 2 fingers up at these authority figures who want to control our lives and make it a misery. We don't have to let them make it a misery. It's Christmas after all. Have some cheer and enjoy yourself. And join me on another of my slightly over-the-top quirky monologues that I'm doing as the run-up towards Christmas. Because at the end of the day, we've got to laugh, we've got to smile, and we've got to poke fun at these people who wish that they could control our lives. We're going to pull the rug from underneath them and show them they blooming well can't.